Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, Jeff. How's it going? You alright?
Yeah, man, it's been quite a while, hasn't it?
It's been bloody ages.
I think,
It's good to see you.
yeah, you too, man, even if it's just staring virtually down the screen at each other.
Yeah, totally. What have you been up to?
Well, dealing with the lockdown, and then, kind of also, I've been attending some socially distanced gigs.
Oh, nice.
So,
Where at
uh,
the lanes or?
so I've been attending all the shows at the lanes, really. Uh,
Oh, wow. What have they been like? Have they been pretty good? Or
they've been excellent, actually, on the whole. I mean, I've really enjoyed, especially really enjoyed MXLX, who played.
oh, sweet.
Have you ever seen any of his stuff live?
I've never seen him live. I've listened to his stuff on Bandcamp, like the Knife Library stuff and all that. But yeah, never live. I've heard it's quite a visceral
He can
experience.
but actually on Tuesday it was like really euphoric and really uplifting.
Oh, great.
He's like I think sometimes with him his compositions kind of reflect like where he is mentally.
Yeah.
I think that he's in because of with him and his partner. I think he's in a really kind of happy space. So he basically created this. He basically played his latest record, which is like a really uplifting kind of
Oh,
tech
great.
the thumper. But I had to physically resist myself to stop myself from getting up and dancing.
Yeah, what's the like rules? Is
Uh,
it all kind of seated and
yeah, it's all seated, so you've got to so it's pretty much mostly like table service, especially when the bands are playing, sort of thing.
yeah,
Like obviously you can't have raised voices really, uh,
yeah.
and the there's only one person per table who can actually go to the bar, sort of thing. If they,
Oh wow.
which
Yeah, I went to the lanes on Sunday for my birthday to go
well,
bowling.
happy
Um
birthday.
thanks. Um but yeah, it was like there was like a metal night on.
Oh yeah,
It
fucked.
was, yeah, yeah. There was just yeah, lots of old metal gems I haven't heard since I was like 13, so that was pretty fun.
So you do like air guitar moves.
Yeah. There were loads of people with Iron Maiden t-shirts on. It was great. I loved it.
Come on, it's a metal night. What the hell do you expect? You gotta have you gotta have like Maiden merchandise at a metal night. You know?
It was just funny though because they were all just sat down on tables,
Yeah,
just kind of like head banging.
yeah. Well, it's been like me, like pretty much most of this week, really. To be honest, it's been like sat at the tables. Like the thing is, though, is that obviously, like I'm gonna obey the rules and like be sat down. But there are certain things which I find struggle. Obviously, like not moving. That's gonna be that's
Yeah,
impossible.
there's only so much finger tapping you can do, really, isn't there?
Well, definitely did. I definitely did on like I've definitely done like a few times. I've done like kind of seat moshing, so where I've still been like rocking out in the seat on those high seats sort of thing. But
Right.
I've always
What?
it never stopped me because let's face it, you'd probably have to bury me in a case of like 10 tons worth of concrete to even try and physically hold back.
Fit you in like a straitjacket or something like Hannibal Lecter, maybe.
And concrete on top of that, it wouldn't work.
What else is coming up at the lanes, or just generally?
Well, I'm doing like well, basically. So I'm going. Next time I'm going to the lanes is next Tuesday to see Run Logan Run.
Mm,
Run Logan Run, Slunk, Iceman Furnace, and I think we've got Radiators. So it's mainly
cool.
all local bands, really, because obviously we can't really have touring acts
Mm,
coming into a lot of the venues because I can understand that obviously because of the COVID restrictions.
yeah.
I mean, that must make it frustrating for you guys, considering you probably were supposed to be like kind of on tour about now.
Yeah, it's had its benefits and obviously not, but it's been kind of nice to be at home, to be honest, for a little bit before it all gets a bit mental again next year with touring.
I hope
Um,
that's still a bit like kind of fingers crossed sort of situation, really.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of I don't see 200,000 people at a festival in a field by, by summer, to be honest. But maybe I'm just being pessimistic. I don't know.
Which is where we were due to be somewhere like a weekend, like this weekend, because it would have been end of the road.
Yeah, yeah. We I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but we filmed the end of the road thing already
Yep.
before it's going out, and it was really nice. But it's really bittersweet seeing the festival site with just none of the stages set up and just a field basically. It was really nice to be there, but also just I wanted to go with everyone.
Yeah, I understand that feeling. Did you get to see any of obviously the peacocks?
Yeah, like I only ever really see about 2 or 3 peacocks when I go to the festival,
Yeah,
but there must have been like 50 or 60 peacocks.
yeah.
I didn't realize how weird they sound as well.
Oh god, their calling sound is strange. But also the thing is, though, that you don't realise actually how big they are.
Yeah, they're huge, aren't they? Massive.
I mean, like, especially also, it makes me laugh. Kind of like, being at end of the road festival, then all of a sudden you see a peacock walking in between walking around people's legs.
Yeah, it's even weirder when they like fly overhead when you're watching someone on the garden stage as well.
Yeah, I've done that, but it's like, it's kind of, that's what also gives, like, venues and festival sites like that its charm.
Yeah, definitely.
Because like there's not many places where you can go and have peacocks flying so close to you, or like kind of.
Yeah, I don't reckon they'd have that at like Reading and Leeds or anything.
Jesus Christ, peacock. Actually make actually Reading so much better. I mean, I'm not meaning to slag anything off, but that is honestly the worst festival site I've been to because of it's impossible to camp on because of its.
What, without your tent being burned by 16-year-olds?
They're that true, but it's like, but it's an ex-human landfill site.
Is it?
So that's
Wow.
why it's so hard to get the pegs in because you're
I remember.
bowing into like bits of concrete.
I remember I went with my mum, or maybe when I was like 12 or 13,
Mm,
um, to see Smashing Pumpkins and Nine Inch Nails, which was
wow,
great.
that would have been
But,
an amazing show.
yeah, it was really good. But like I'll never forget walking into the arena with my mum, and then there was just a single ice cream truck in the middle, and just loads of people just pushing it over and trying to set it on fire. It was horrible.
Well, that's back when teenagers did stupid things like that, really. But like, I think it was one of my first festivals as well.
Mm,
'Cause that would have been like my GCSE celebration was to like kind of go to Reading Festival,
yeah.
and so it's the first festival I definitely did on my own. And so like my parents sent me this the family tent, because of the thing is with the family tent is that in order to put the poles together, it kind of almost had to read like almost Morse code. And so I started setting it up, but then like obviously I started setting it up accidentally in the middle of the fire lane. So then I had to move my tent somewhere else, and I moved it to right next door to this to one of those burger vans. There's a photograph somewhere of this half falling down tent because of like so I didn't obviously erect all the poles. I just couldn't be asked. And then like right next door to this burger van with like with like with all this trash. So and yeah, that was my and I remember seeing who did I see that year? It was like Red Hot Chili Peppers who were shite.
I saw them at Reading as well, and they were also shite.
Yeah, I saw them at 99, which was like yeah, they were really flat. Who
I
else?
think my parents might have been there that year, or maybe it was the year after. They saw Cornelius.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that would have been good to see actually. I remember
Yeah.
seeing John Spencer Blues Explosion, Atari Teenage Riot opened up the Saturday morning on the main stage. That was freaking amazing. Because
Good
also
way to start the day.
that terrified me as well. Because I was like 50, I was like 16 years old. I was over by the Radio 1 tent because I was waiting for Symposium, who were like I think opening up the big top sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, one of the first acts on, but you can still feel your bones shuddering from like the Kappa hardcore Atari Teenage Riot, and it was like I think they were on like 10:30 in the morning or something.
Oh my god.
I was watching it just like going, "This is freaking amazing," but I was also being terrified at the same time. But I remember seeing who else? The Sabado were there. Sabado opened up the main stage. The Donners.
God, they got such good lineups back in the day, didn't they?
Yeah, they had great lineups. I mean, like I saw the lineup for like '92, and that was just generally jaw dropping. It wasn't so much who do I want to go see. It's like who do I miss?
Yeah. Who do I kill off?
Yeah, but it's like and I guess it's partly because of there was a lot more diversity. Didn't really. It was like okay, it was more like okay, yeah, it was a rock festival, but it didn't necessarily know almost directly who its audience was, and also there were less festivals around as well.
Yeah.
I've actually found that sometimes with more festivals kind of cropping up, sometimes it does dilute or like specify the lineups.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if you found that in your experience.
Yeah, a little bit. There's a few festivals that kind of feel like they have their thing and they kind of stick to it a little bit. But I don't know. Yeah, last year we kind of played so many tiny little weird festivals that I didn't even know existed that are so good. There's one called Three Wheel Drive in, I can't remember where it is. I'll have to find out, but it's tiny and it's like 50 people that go, and it's some of the weirdest music I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah. I reckon you'd absolutely love it, Jeff.
Is it like Supernormal or something like that?
Yeah, a little bit like that, but just kind of like run by like three people in like a tiny a forest. I can't remember. There was a guy that we saw that was so good. He looked like he dressed like a pilot and just played tapes and sat down and sang along over it. It was really good. I'll have to find that out.
That definitely sounds like kind of like an interesting sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, like we bring up like kind of slightly niche festivals, but End of the Road also is obviously someone festival which has definitely excelled in knowing what to tailor for people, sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like it's changed quite, not in a bad way. It's changed a lot over time because I've been going since the second year
Wow.
it was on, and it was all pretty much like folk music. I actually remember the year that I went, Mumford and Sons and Bon Iver played back to back in the main stage.
Mumford and Sons, meh. Bon Iver, yes.
Yeah, exactly. But it was all kind of like folk music. But I realized like 3 years ago or something, they really kind of diversified it a little bit.
I think that's also with welcoming in like Radio 3.
Yeah, the Late Junction stuff. Yeah, definitely.
Stuff. I mean, that definitely brought, and also the fact that, the past few years they've had stuff like last year they had Lonnie Holly.
Yeah, I missed him. Laurie and Anton and Arthur are really big fans of his.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was literally like the way to which I describe it is I felt like literally like as if I was feeling his hands like almost reaching into me, thing, and then also being because he deals with a lot of like kind of with spirituality and folk art as well because he's also like a conceptual artist himself.
Yeah.
And yeah, just every single time I hear him, it just literally makes me stop and makes like it slows all my breath down.
Yeah. Yeah, we were listening to Laraji in the
I,
van the other day, which is kind of a similar
yeah,
thing to Lonnie Holly.
I definitely
Uh,
agree with that. I
yeah,
agree with that.
yeah. I listened to it while I was cooking last night. I've never felt so zen in my life.
I remember seeing, well, he played End of the Road about 4 years ago, actually, the run.
Yeah,
And I remember watching it, literally, I could feel all the stresses on my body just every single time he played the cyber. You know, it was just like, it's basically like kind of drone soul music.
yeah,
Because like you're creating all these drones, and the thing is though, it's about like how different frequencies does affect the body.
yeah, yeah. It's really funny if you go on his Spotify. He's like if you go down to the like compilations that he's on, some of them are so funny. They're all just kind of like top 10 spiritual anthems.
Yeah, but it's like, but it's kind of true because it is kind of spiritual.
Yeah, 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 definitely.
Do you feel elevated? But yeah, how have you been anyway? You know, like obviously with the whole squid stuff as well. Like,
Yeah, really, really good. Um, yeah, just been in Bristol since lockdown, really, which has actually been really nice. Kind of getting to know people who live here and
mm,
um, stuff like that. Just hanging out. But we did our album in July and August, and that's kind of almost there now.
so it's just like kind of down to the mixing stage sort of thing.
Yeah, pretty much, and just kind of starting to think about um, the artwork and what it means on a broader scale, I guess.
Yeah, I guess also like with the one of the things which I wanted to ask actually, which was you know, like with the songwriting process, do you have like a very structured way of of doing songwriting, or is it like kind of like a loose collaboration?
Yeah, it is pretty. We never really we don't come into it with well, we come into it with ideas, but the one thing that's banned is for someone to just come in with a song, a full song. We always just kind of it is all really collaborative. Um, yeah, we often just come in with one little idea and then work from there really, which is probably it's quite a long way of working, but it works for us.
I think it does because I think that that's kind of how it comes across whenever I've seen you play live. Is it definitely feels, you know, not like someone going like, oh, these are my songs,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
band.
yeah,
It's like no, we're part of a collective.
yeah, yeah. I really like that. It's yeah. Hopefully, it will keep all the ego at bay.
But then also it feels, but then also in a good way, it kind of feels like, you know, like the performance that I saw you gave for like to the Doctor Dot, where it felt like if I was watching a carnival, in in a good way, like because it kind of does have that sense, and I think that sometimes people miss that, or like some of the contemporary bands sometimes miss that kind of like sense of theatricality that you can have in
Yeah,
a performance, you know.
yeah, 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 definitely. I think yeah, that's not something we're too conscious about, but it kind of just happens, which is really nice. Um, yeah, I'm not a very theatrical person, but somehow on stage it it comes out.
Yeah, but then it's like as if you kind of create a split alter ego. So you have like your kind of semi alter ego who's part of you.
Yeah.
It comes out and like does all the dancing around and all that sort of stuff. But then it's like much like, you know, same with like Iggy Pop or something like that.
Mm, yeah, 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 definitely. Yeah,
But they're completely different on stage to off stage. Because Jesus Christ,
yeah.
could you imagine if it was the same if it was like that in real life? Like,
You get pretty cold with this t-shirt off all the time, I reckon.
like also all the ADHD as well. I mean, Jesus, the amount of times that he'd probably end up like, you know, kind of punching himself in the face. And
Uh,
but
uh,
I guess it brings it up because, like, for me, sometimes I think having stuff like that it makes it more memorable. and more fun.
Yeah.
It's like when I see, oh, I think the camera's switched off. I don't know what's happened there. Start video. Oh, back again.
There we go.
Because I think for me, it makes it more memorable.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that also the other thing for me is that if the band are having fun, then the audience are more likely to kind of get into it.
Yeah, exactly. I always, whenever I'm watching a band, my favorite thing is if I see the band members smiling at each other,
Yeah,
or because it's just, I don't know, I want it to be like a human thing when a band's performing. I don't like it when it's all,
mechanical.
yeah, and people look as if they're not enjoying it because we've been so lucky to get where we are today. And
Yeah,
I think if just you just got to show that you're pretty, I don't know, grateful for being able to do what you love for a living.
yeah, and I also think that it's also like joy and perseverance as well. So I
Mm,
think that, because I know that you've been making music for quite some time in different guises.
mm.
Is I probably first would have seen you back when you were like kind of like spotty teenager.
Yeah,
You know, kind of like when you're doing like your solo electronica and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because God, that's
yeah,
back at least 10 years. I reckon.
yeah, definitely, yeah, yeah. I remember when you came to my gig. I was so happy.
And also, like, but the thing is, so what I found personally, what happened to me is that if I find someone doing something interesting, then I'm always bound to follow them.
Yeah,
No matter whether whether it's something which is loose around the edges, to just to see how people progress really.
yeah, definitely.
Because I'm always
Yeah, I love doing that.
yeah, it's like I'm always interested in what people are doing. I'm always interested to hear, I guess, new things and new ideas.
Mm,
And so
yeah.
sometimes I'm admittedly guilty of bandwagoning with people. To be honest.
How have you found the kind of no gigs over the past few months? Because I know it's quite a not it's a big like therapeutic thing for you to go to gigs, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's been I've dealt with it better than I would have, years ago, a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I think that I've had swings and roundabouts. So I've been doing
Mm,
live streaming.
yeah.
Still been kind of technically going to gigs. Sat down watching them on the screen instead of watching them on, or like sometimes I'd be live streaming them on my phone whilst I'd be going out for daily walks, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I think it has made me like realize, like just how much I took things for granted,
Yeah.
within live music, and you know how I've been really lucky to have found a really supportive network of people, in a place like Bristol.
Yeah.
You know,
Have you been in Bristol for most of the lockdown or?
pretty much. I mean, I had about a 3 week period where I had to be living at my parents because I had builders working on my kitchen.
Mm.
They'd be like, Bristol, no kitchen. Oh look, parents have got kitchen, spare room. And
And
like,
food, fridge full of food.
yeah, pretty much. And then yeah, we went on a really big family holiday as well to Trianon Bay.
Oh, great.
The reason why this is the first in a couple of weeks that I've actually done one of these chats, really.
Yeah.
And that was really great. Have you ever been to Trianon Bay?
No, I haven't.
It's a beautiful part of the world. It's like North Cornwall.
Oh, okay.
Like
Actually, I think Louis might have been there last week.
yeah,
I think
I
he
think
went on a fishing trip.
wow. Well, it's a perfect place for fishing.
Yeah.
Like we have this house which we used to go to when when I was like really, really young. So I had like my 4th birthday in there. So like, but it's the nearest house to the beach.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Literally, it's like kind of the end of the garden is like a 20-foot cliff. So it's like, oh yeah, beach.
Great for the 4th birthday.
It's great. It was, yeah. God, I was a wee nipper who was obsessed by trains back then. I've gone through like a whole series of obsessions. It was like trains. I went through like kind of fossil collecting, dinosaurs.
Yeah, I did that.
I think like semi-standard boy things really.
Yeah, used to get those magazines about dinosaurs with free fossils in it.
Yeah, I used to go fossil hunting. I actually found some dinosaur bones.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
Nice.
some like plesiosaur vertebrae. So like, 'cause I grew up in Gloucestershire, so we had the River Severn,
Yeah.
all the mud flats.
Oh, great.
We could-
Actual bones.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, I've got them here actually. But yeah, it's really amazing to go from one form of rock to another form. It's like one form of rock and roll to another form. One is rolling around in mud, the other one's like kind of like rolling around with people.
Oh.
Tish. I had to make that reference. I was also wondering, like who do you consider to be, like your biggest inspirations as like creative people?
um, I don't know because we all love such a wide array of music. Um, I mean, I think we're all. I don't know. Yeah, because it's all quite different. But I mean, personally, it's kind of. I still love Nine Inch Nails and all that industrial kind of music.
Mm.
And who else? Like David Byrne. Only really over the past, I don't know, 2 or 3 years has David Byrne's become such a massive influence on me. And
Yeah,
Andy Partridge from XTC.
yeah. I could definitely pick up like XTC within your song within Squid songwriting.
Yeah,
Definitely there's definitely that kind of jerkiness. I guess it's like the post-punk no wave. He's sort
yeah.
of,
Because I always remember my dad. My dad. I think when I was maybe like 14 or something, I was really into Foals, and my dad said, "Hey, listen to XTC. It's got that kind of like jerky kind of guitar."
yeah.
And I remember listening to Black Sea and just absolutely hating it so much.
Yeah.
I thought it was awful. But over the past few years, I've really, really kind of got it.
Then I think it shows, how over years I think our listening tastes do change.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that I found myself personally, sorry if I do talk about myself a lot, but I mean like I find myself like what I listen to is definitely diversified a lot.
Yeah,
I find myself just like because also another thing, the big thing which sells records for me is artwork.
yeah, definitely.
Sometimes I've picked up albums just because of like they've got amazing artwork. Like
Mm.
there's a record I'm listening to at the moment called by a Congolese outfit called Bantu Mantale. And
How do you spell that? I'm going to write that down.
Bantou. So Bantu.
Oh, yeah,
Says mental, but with an E on the end.
got them.
Yeah,
Nice.
their artwork for their record is phenomenal. It basically because it's them dressed up in full costumes, and it's like but they're basically like a Congolese version of Snapped Ankles, with like a bit of, but they kind of go a bit more down like a kind of a more psychedelic route.
Yeah,
It's like several of the guys who used to be in like Canona number one and then like Staff Bender Balili, so it's like kind of quite well established
yeah.
kind of Congolese bands.
Can I know number one? Were they on that M Barna Star. I can't remember
Yeah,
that album. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I've been listening to that recently. It's such a good tune.
I actually saw Canona number one's first ever UK show.
Oh, really?
Played the fiddlers, and it was phenomenal. But
Nice.
it was like one of those it was like one of those odd occasions where English speaking was definitely in the minority. I think they had like 2 busloads of French people literally drive across the Eurotunnel.
Oh my God.
And there's also them with the original lineup. So it's like
Nice.
with the original singer and with the like with the original with the original dancers who like unfortunately like RIP'd, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just remember that they played for like 2 hours. I think they played 3 songs
I love that.
because basically it was like watching. I'd mostly describe it as like watching kind of Congolese techno, but being played on finger piano on climbers.
That's amazing.
So they literally always had the entire audience doing like, especially like the last time I saw them, they had the entire audience of Woma doing Big Fish, Small Fish, Cardboard Box. And I think that their hour-long set, they played 2 songs. They had to be dragged off halfway through the second song because the first song went on for like 40 minutes because they get stuck into a trance.
That sounds like my kind of band.
They are really, really, they're worth checking out. They're worth.
Great.
I think you would like them because I think that along with like Staff Bender Balili, they did push the fringes of what people expect music to be.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, they paved the ways for like Coco Coco and BCUC.
Yeah, I was just about to mention it. It sounds quite similar to BCUC.
Yeah, I'd say a bit more along the lines of Coco Co, I think.
mm,
But it's like, yeah, I mean,
mm.
just proves that people can't label anything, really, can they?
Yeah, exactly.
Can't put things into neat boxes.
Yeah, it's funny what you say about artwork. It's such a strange thing how it affects your perception of an album.
Yeah, it really does.
Because yeah, at the moment for our art, we haven't got any artwork at all, or a name or anything. So it's just like a file. There's no visual element to it at all,
Wow.
which is really, it can really change how you think about an album, I think.
I think it's also like getting like the right thing for what you think the album is as well
Yeah,
is really important because if it does do so much selling, because as well as people who are dedicated fans, there will be people who like myself sometimes impulse buyers,
yeah, definitely.
and also then I've also found that you know that the music has also influenced me because I do like a lot of visual art,
Mm.
and that I tend to find that sometimes it inspires me to kind of create in a certain way.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like everyone everyone probably has a different visual interpretation of what they're hearing.
Mm.
So it's funny that I don't know that there's just one kind of album cover to things, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, because I think it's unless you do like something where you can do like kind of like a multi-faced album,
Mm.
I think. But
Yeah,
also like taking these things into consideration is kind of quite a big thing because of like you probably got to find new ways of selling the record as well,
mm.
or like promoting it sort of thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's quite overwhelming the amount of things you can do to sell an album now.
yeah, I mean like just look at Idols for the amount of promo that they've been doing.
Yeah, they've got a lot of editions of their new album, haven't they?
Yeah, well, it's not just the editions, but it's also like how they've been promoting it, with, like all the
Mm.
little like the fact that Joe's got Bully TV, and the fact that like they've been doing the whole Dumb and Drummer, you know, which is like the
I haven't heard that yet. Drum and Drummer.
Dumb and Drummer. It's yeah, it's a play Dumb and Dumber, but it's
Great.
basically it's like a kind of pub. It's like a pub style quiz with Dev and John versus like rhythm sections from other bands. So like the one the National was particularly hilarious because it got to,
With the National.
yeah.
Oh my god.
The very first one they did it with the rhythm section from the National. All the fans of Idols. It's like really weird. It's like seeing interviewing Sharon Van Etten and stuff like that and go like, how the hell did he manage to work this?
That's such a great idea, though. I love it.
Yeah. But I mean, like, Dumb and Drummer did introduce me to possibly the best, worst music video I've ever seen.
I
And
really. What was that?
it was Sting. I can't remember the name of the song, but it was like one of his really cheesy. I'm gonna do Sting does country really badly, you know. And it was like everything about it was like ego, money, genius, and also terrible at the same time.
I watched. There's a video of Sting and Sting and Shaggy did an album together.
Oh god, that record. Oh,
Yeah, there's a video of I think it was the Queen's birthday at like some opera house. It
wow.
performed It Wasn't Me
Yeah.
to the Queen.
Oh god.
I think it's been completely erased off the internet because I can't find the video anymore.
Is it really that?
It's it's awful.
Well,
And
most
yeah.
Sting generally are awful. Like the first Police record actually had some, you know, I'll give them in fairness, like they actually had some good pop tunes. But some of his solo stuff has just been like, especially like from like 1990 onwards, has been absolutely terrible. But this one music video, I don't know how to describe it, but it had line dancing aliens. They had like CGI flying cowboys. You had Sting with the best worst hick haircut you could ever imagine, and it was one of those things where you just watch and go, "What? This is? You think this is good?" There's a scene where a cow literally explodes into bottles of milk. You've got like Sting has a Bono moment where literally a CGI horse that gets projectiled up into the sky, and like kind of he becomes like the universe.
I've got to find this.
I can't remember the name of the song, but I remember at the end of it, the whole barn that he's in, like right at the end, basically turns into a CGI spaceship and flies off. Allah, take me to your leader.
Oh my god, this is so good. Do you follow? There's I don't know if I think it's on Facebook as well. There's a page called Catatonic Youths,
I've heard of them.
And it's just like this guy just trawls the internet to find like the worst music videos ever.
Oh god, there's a few contenders for that.
Oh god, it's so funny.
Some of them. I mean, the thing is, so with stuff like Sammy Hagar, you kind of expect like the cheesy ridiculousness, but come on, Sting, your songs aren't really that entertaining, are they? I mean, like
this video sounds incredible. There, I really want to watch.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, but it's like, but then the thing is, it makes you think about like kind of also visually, like you know, when you do a video for Squid, do you ever think about how artistically you interpret, you know, the songs?
Yeah, definitely. But we're actually we had a meeting about that today actually, and it's really difficult because it's like five of us. Probably why our music works so well is because the five of us have such individual ways of approaching music, which really works. But then when that comes down to kind of video ideas, it's really hard to put together all our ideas into just one thing. But I think we're getting there. It's quite dystopian, this album, so I really just want to have a big burning car, some big burning buildings. That'd be fun.
I tell you what, that sounds like the sort of thing which James Hankins would direct.
It does. It does.
Yeah, honest, I mean, like, if you mention big and burning things, I think James Hankins is always the kind of, I don't know, because like I think that he dystopian, he does dystopian very well, and
Yeah, definitely.
especially for like a low budget, so like kind of video maker and like film producer. I think that he does do. He's got a very effective style of doing things.
Yeah, definitely. He's incredibly resourceful
Yeah. Oh,
with
just
props and just getting people together.
yeah. I've been in several of his videos, and I know exactly how resourceful he's been. I mean, I got turned into like a kind of. I don't know how to describe it because I was in a video for like one of Emily Breeze's singles, and
Yeah.
um, he got loads of cling film. Kind of like got kind of makeup assistants basically wrap it around my face, wrap it around my head. Basically sculpted like a mask out of cling film and paint, and basically so I was completely unrecognizable. So I was like this weird kind of green skinned, um, kind of almost quite ghoulish kind of monster character. And it was being filmed up in Clifton, which you know is like possibly the whitest part of Bristol, or like the most poshest part of Bristol. Decided to give me like a fake beard as well. Like, and, um, so I thought I'd like kind of been wearing this brightly. I think it was like a luminous green, kind of like coloured skin thing, and kind of. I mean, I wasn't the worst looking person, to be honest. There was like there was someone who they basically managed to make them look like as if their head was like an ass sort of thing. By literally wrapping bits of cling film, strapping bits of tape on, and then kind of covering everyone in paint.
I was in James's one of James's videos for Spectres.
Yeah.
It was I was the ghost of John Peel.
Wow. That's quite a role to play, to be honest.
It's quite a big role, yeah.
If
But yeah, he printed out these I don't know, like these kind of like material things that you print faces onto, and then you put it over your face, and it kind of like goes all like really distorted. He printed John Peel's face on it, and it's just kind of...
so you had like a distorted version of John Peel's face.
Yeah.
It was through James Hankins that I heard about Squid. Actually,
Oh, really?
I think he posted up a the press photograph.
With his Thaps t-shirt on.
No.
With...
It's right before then. This is like when you're releasing, I think, literally your first single, I think, or just before.
Yeah.
And he said, oh yeah, I'm potentially working with these guys, and then just like posted up like the kind of the link with your press photograph. I looked at the photograph and went, you recognised you straight away. Oh, that's what Ollie's up to now, then, is it?
Oh, James, such good taste.
He's a funny character.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in ages.
No, he's been working with Robert Llewellyn.
Oh, wow.
Crichton from Red Wolf.
Wow.
Because he does like a YouTube channel, like an eco-friendly YouTube channel.
Oh, is that the car, the fully charged thing, or is it something else?
I think it might be the fully charged. It's something to do with the fully charged thing, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's semi having to pinch himself because he's working with one of the stars from one of his favourite ever TV programs.
Yeah, I've heard about this. I don't know how much we can talk about it, but I'm very excited for him.
Yeah, we probably should not talk much more about it.
Luckily, he likes a lot of TV, so
Yeah.
so no one will know.
I think people do know because I think it is going out on Robert Llewellyn's YouTube channel. I think.
Oh, nice.
I think. I mean, I might be wrong. I might get angry eyes from James. To be honest, it's like I've had angry eyes from other people, Although to be honest, James, I don't know quite how to put it.
Such sweet eyes, though.
I- but apart from when he's drunk, he's he's like. I mean, I've been round him at Green Man Festival, and Jesus Christ, he's especially like. Because you can tell when he's like really, really drunk, because he'll do that pointing thing and repeat the same word over and over and over and over again.
I think I got that I bumped into him watching Giant Swan at Glastonbury,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
I flipped the script and I took a photo of him, and then
yeah.
he took a photo of me.
Well, yeah, because he does a lot of selfies. It's really funny because like, obviously last year when he was at Glastonbury, he called himself Mr. Festival. And he was like, "Can he go around with like the thumps cap?" He's like, so it's like every update was like Mr. Festival. then then I remember that he posted once saying, "Was it the festival's over? I'm camped next to a whole load of Frank Turner fans."
Yeah, I saw that. Oh God.
Yeah. Then the thing is that it makes us realise kind of what we're missing out on
Yeah,
this
yeah,
summer.
no.
It does feel weird 'cause it does make you realise that you know with stuff like with the festivals, there is also that there's certain people that we only see at some of those places.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. I was it's kind of sad. I'm not very good at staying in contact with people from other places that I've lived. And festivals is like the one kind of meeting point where you can see all your old mates again, and
Yeah.
I've definitely been missing out on that.
Or like for instance, like with me, I mean, I'm a freaky geek, so I get to occasionally like kind of DJ stuff like Green Man,
Mm.
and which was cause I remember like I think that's the reason why I missed the first time that he played Green Man was because I was DJing the same time as you,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Far Out tent,
Yeah,
and but it's like cause what I love about doing that is I get to watch the sets from side the stage.
mm.
I get to cheer people on.
Yeah,
So last year, and this was like I got to DJ before, obviously Idols, which who gave me massively overly flattering shout outs.
yeah. I saw that. That was really nice.
Oh man, but the one bit which always stick in my head was I was DJing before Say See Me, who are like a South Korean shoegaze band,
Yeah,
and just to see some of their faces reacting to how much of the crowd, how big a crowd they were playing to, and then like also the fact that everyone was singing, that loads of people were singing back some of the words.
yeah,
You know, just to see them just looking absolutely stunned at like 2:30 in the afternoon.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah, like we had just our kind of like first experience of that last year, really. Just kind of because sometimes you don't really know if you just turn up to a festival kind of a few hours before you're playing or something, and
yeah.
once you get on stage, and then that's the only time you know how many people you're going to play in front of. And
Sometimes that can be really nerve wracking though, especially if you're like kind of psyching yourself up.
yeah, definitely. But it was like especially Under the Road, it was like kind of just turned up and played, but it was like it was insane. It was like the most people we've ever played to.
Yeah, because I think you were on either before, or just after TVAM.
Yeah, just after TV AM.
Yeah, or TVAM as I call him. I think there was a period almost last summer where it's almost every other week. It's been like, oh look, there's Squid.
Yeah, it was a bit like that.
Yeah, every single line of it, but like, oh look, there's Ollie again. I'll be like waving at him.
Yeah, it was a fun summer.
Yeah, but then I think it's like, yeah, I don't know quite how to put it in words, but then it's like, but then I guess this summer's been more of a summer of reflection, really.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's kind of I haven't really when lockdown started. It was just it didn't really have the time last year to kind of just step back and appreciate how much we'd done
Mm.
and kind of been away from home for a long time, so it's been actually really nice to spend some time at home with my girlfriend and friends and stuff.
And be like a lot more grounded sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely. I think it's been good for all of us, really. Um, Obviously, we'd love to be playing gigs. We can't wait to start playing gigs again. But I reckon this time has definitely been needed. Don't want to burn out.
But also the other thing for me is just gonna check. Is it still recording? Just gonna check. So is it still recording? Yeah. Yeah. The other thing for me is that I mean I actually really quite liked it when we went into full lockdown
Mm,
because you could hear things like the birds
yeah,
and you could hear like kind of you got like more of a sense of connection of nature again.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was like there's definitely probably the nicest thing, and just there not being any cars on the roads and stuff. It was really peaceful, and
You through the centre of the city and just like hearing nothing but the birds, and then like occasionally you'd like kind of occasionally I did feel some tinges of sadness, especially when I walked past some of the venues,
yeah,
sort of thing. But then also I kind of felt yeah, kind of reflective.
yeah, definitely. It was good for me as well because my girlfriend's really into cycling, but I've always been really petrified of cycling on roads.
So
So
I'm
at
I'm
the start,
I'm too petrified of cycling on roads.
yeah, yeah, but at the start of lockdown, because there was no cars on the roads, I went out, and now I'm really into cycling, which is really nice.
But hey, but then it's also really good for you because it gets you out,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you know. And I think that sometimes when you don't have, so what I found with me is that if I don't have the structure or the impetus to get out, then sometimes I don't even leave my flat.
yeah, same here. Yeah,
That actually it's quite easy to get stuck into a depressive cycle because of that.
yeah, definitely. You just feel a bit guilty for not having done anything or just sitting and watching TV all day.
Or you don't know necessarily what to do either.
Yeah,
I mean, if it's like sometimes what'll happen with me is I'll have the ideas, but I won't know how to execute them.
mm,
So I'll have like so I'm like brainiac for like coming up with like inventing songs. But whereas when it comes to like kind of actually writing things or like kind of like I'll do paintings and drawings. I mean, like I've had a few things which have helped me give me some structure.
yeah,
And actually, I think that structure was the biggest thing which I missed. Obviously, like as well as the gigs.
yeah,
Like so like every Monday morning, my friend who's a professional model, she'd do like a life modeling group.
yeah,
So she'd be like kind of posing for about 15 or 20 people who'd be drawing her, something over Zoom.
mm,
And things like I would be having like regular catch ups, doing stuff like this.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we started doing like quizzes every Friday, which kind of at the start was really, really helpful, I think.
I think it is because I think it's remaining in contact with people.
Yeah,
And also sometimes it's like the simplest little thing, but it can actually really have like a positive impact.
mm, yeah, definitely.
Personally, what I feel that so it's really helped me having like these Zoom chats because also I've got to talk to some people which I never ever thought would ever want to talk to me. You know, like as if in like people like with this like Tim Burgess or Anna Meredith. You know, like as a spotty 17-year-old, would ever think that anyone from like the Charlatans would ever want to be my friend or be, you know, sit down, give me some time, or like Jeff Barrett who runs Heavenly Records sort of thing.
Yeah,
You know,
that's great.
yeah. But then it's like it's given me. Then I guess it's partly with some of them are people that I've actually become friends with.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Because the funny thing is that the first time I semi met Tim Burgess, well, I didn't actually say hello to him, but who's roadieing for his wife's band, for his partner's band,
Oh, really?
a Factory Floor.
Oh, really? I had no idea.
Yeah, his partner's Nick, and Basically, I freaking love factory floors, especially as a
Yeah, so good.
phenomenal. I mean, like, especially around their first record, where it's like the three of them,
Yeah,
and it was in fact I was in Thekla, so I think they were playing like an early version of Simple Things or like Fear of Fiction Festival, you know, like one of those one day festivals, and
yeah.
I remember going completely nuts and seeing this guy who's dressed in like kind of um not that scruffy overalls. Like he had a cap, kind of awkward blonde bob, and like a pair of spectacles, and kept on staring at me because of like. And I think that you know, when I say that, I was probably freaking out dancing. Like I almost up on the ground a couple of times. Thing where I used to kind of, especially certain bands gigs like Fortune Drive, where I used to do like the worm in the middle of in the middle of like where I used to like wriggle under people's legs.
Oh God, I'd love to see that.
But so yeah, I used to have this thing where I get so psychotically like kind of into it that I'd be like seeing double.
Double Burgess.
Well, kind of was, but it was more like if it's seeing like an invisible tube. Is. And yeah, I think it's just like I just kept on noticing that he was staring at me really oddly and like really intently. I was like going, okay.
Did you tell him about this?
No, he told me. But I went to see Tim Burgess play solo at Thekla like couple of years later. I was like, oh yeah. By the way, you know, I met you when I saw you. You know, I was radioing with my partner's band Factory Floor. I was like, oh, that's who was staring at me, right? Okay.
Oh my God.
I think
Yeah, it's funny when you kind of when you meet your heroes kind
I
of
think
thing.
I think the most embarrassing thing I've done, semi in front of my heroes, um, well, one of my heroes anyway, was in front of PJ Harvey at well, PJ Harvey and John Parrish at the Colston Hall.
Yeah.
After it was a David Lynch tribute gig I'd been to,
Wow.
and yeah, I mean I pretty much blacked out in front of PJ Harvey, just so I got too nervous because I couldn't help the fun boy urge and just go Jesus Christ, blood, darkness.
The same thing kind of happened to me with because I worked for Domino Records for a bit,
Oh wow,
and I used to get to go to like radio sessions and stuff, and went to a Stephen Malkmus one,
wow.
and
So now
and
I would have probably the same reaction.
my voice has never broken like it's broken when I met Steve. Said, "Hi, I'm Ollie. Nice to meet you."
I think I've had the same with Jay Mascis. I remember like, kind of being at the end of the road once, like being in the queue for a food stall, and
Yeah.
seeing Jay Mascis walk past this massive gush of wind, literally kind of drained me, turned me into like a 14-year-old, kind of like gushing, kind of like spoiled brat teeny, kind of like person just going, oh God. That's why he had some mystical power or something. Just because he was walking in, you know, like. But you do get like that in front of your heroes, even with one or two of them have become friends with. I still have to pinch myself.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
It's,
we played with Thurston Moore's band
oh wow,
last year, and we sat down and had dinner at the venue, and then he kind of just walked in, kind of towering above everyone,
huge.
and
He's taller,
sat like he's so massive.
taller than me. I mean, I'm big, but he's like.
He's massive. He's great.
I was feeling that he might be on the spectrum somewhere.
Oh, really?
I don't know because like sometimes when I've spoken to him, it's like
Yeah.
he's like talking through me.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, maybe.
So
I exchanged very few words with him. I was too nervous.
I wouldn't.
Um,
To be honest, I'd be the same.
yeah,
I've been the same a few times with a few people, but then that's a good thing that we still have our heroes.
yeah, definitely.
I mean, like I know someone I definitely wouldn't be able to speak to would be Björk.
Oh my God, I know. Yeah, I've thought about that before.
I'd be like,
What the hell would you say?
oh, play great music and then run away. It's like I had a really weird one last summer, which is this is going to make me sound quite big-headed. But I was at Primavera Sound last year, so I've been going quite regularly. I,
Yeah.
I swear I had a 3D from Massive Attack come up and thank me for the sport and then walk off again. Because I think it was just after Stereolab had played.
That's great.
What? Okay.
I think he lives around the corner from me.
Yeah. I wouldn't be that surprised. Because whereabouts do you live? Whereabouts in Bristol are you based?
Just off top of Stokes Croft. You know where the actually maybe I shouldn't announce this.
No.
Just off Stokes Croft,
Uh,
kind of just at the top, near Gloucester Road actually.
so it's like completely opposite end to where I live, which is in Tottenham.
Yeah, yeah. Although I think I might be going cycling. I might pass through Tottenham on Saturday.
Tottenham's lovely. It's a really beautiful place.
Yeah,
I mean, I've been lucky because I've had several. Because I've got for like the walks and stuff like that. I've got like several parks really close to me,
yeah,
which are really picturesque. So you've got like Victoria Park, which is huge, which
yeah.
side kind of verges into Bedminster, and then you've got like Parrots Park, which
Mm.
you get some of the best views of Bristol.
Great lockdown area.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful because of like I'll be like kind of walking out like live streaming a gig on my phone, and sometimes I'll be trying to see see if like the birds were reacting to the rhythms.
Yeah.
So I remember like,
Oh, you'd play it out loud.
oh yeah, I don't
Yeah.
have phones.
Nice.
It's really interesting to sort of see other people's reactions. Some people would really dig some of the stuff which I'd be playing. So like, for instance, I remember going out to the park once and playing like the Kit, or like
Oh yeah, that's beautiful park music. That
I mean their new record is amazing. Their new
I haven't. Is it out? Is it out now or is it?
It'll be out in October on the 23rd.
Yeah.
But my friend Joff did the artwork for them, and she's been a guest on one of these conversations.
Mm.
We had to re-record it twice because of it. Because like first time we realised that until we finished it that it wasn't recording, and that was like 3 hours. So I tried to do it again. That went for 2.5 hours. Basically, you could watch a feature-length blockbuster movie in the time that I had.
Watched Lord of the Rings in that time.
Oh yeah, probably. And my bit.
Oh, Jeff, I've got to go in a minute because, funnily enough, I've got a meeting about artwork.
Oh wow.
Yeah. What's
Well,
the
hey,
time? I've got to go. I'm afraid.
that's cool, Ollie.
Is that all right?
Yeah, man. It's lovely to see you, dude.
Yeah, really nice to see you. Let me know. Well, I'll have a look at what's going on at the lanes, and maybe I'll see you there.
Yeah, man. Then I can
That'd be really nice.
high elbow you in person. One of the things which I do miss the most is hugs.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you know me, I'm like Mr. Hugaholic.
I know. I think everyone misses hugging you as well.
I know. I think when we're allowed to do that, would basically be pylon, won't it? It'll be like it'll be just like I remember like kind of tweeting kind of like I need a hug. I got like I think it's about over 200 like tweets back saying yeah, well, I'll hug you. Literally like I'm gonna have a great wall of hugs, aren't I?
You can see it from the satellites above.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, the entire world piles on top of me.
All right, Jeff. It's so nice to see you.
See you too, Ollie. Thank you.
See you later, man. Take it easy. Lots of love.
Care, sir. Bye bye.
Bye.